Before you start a pig farm business, let's learn more about what goes into building a pig farm. Pig farming is a type of animal husbandry that involves the raising and breeding of domestic pigs as livestock. Pigs are primarily used for food purposes, such as pork, bacon, gammon, and skins. Pigs can be farmed in a variety of ways, including intensive commercial units, commercial free-range enterprise, and extensive farming, which allows pigs to roam around a village, town, or city, or tethered in a simple shelter, or kept in a pen outside the owner's house. Farm pigs were traditionally kept in small numbers and were closely associated with the owner's residence or in the same village or town. They were valued for their meat and fat, as well as their ability to convert inedible food into meat and manure, and were frequently fed household food waste when kept on a homestead. Pigs have also been used on a large scale to dispose of city garbage. The first step is to conduct research on your target market. When researching your target market, you should approximate the type and number of customers who might buy your products in order to ensure that your pig unit is as profitable as possible. This is especially important if you want to add value to your animals by selling them directly to the public. When operating your pig farm, you may discover that a large portion of your sales are trade sales. Your trade customers may include national supermarket chains, as well as other major food retailers, abattoirs and meat processors, manufacturing companies, wholesalers, local merchants, and caterers. If you plan to supply to large corporations, contact them to get an idea of the price you can expect to receive, as well as other relevant contract details such as feeding requirements, penalties for your animals failing to meet specific targets, and so forth. Joining a producer group or cooperative may prove to be the most effective way for you to sell to large corporations. Likewise, if you plan to supply local retailers and catering establishments directly, it's best to contact them to find out if they'd be willing to take your produce and what exactly supplying these businesses entails. For example, you will almost certainly have to pay to have your animals slaughtered and dressed by an abattoir before selling the meat or carcasses to local businesses. Some people, such as local retailers, may request that you package the produce as well. If you intend to sell directly to public, whether through your own outlet, a farmer's market, or another means, try to determine whether there is sufficient demand in your area for meat sold in this manner. Market reports published by the industry body AHDB Pork are a good source of information on how the overall pig meat market is performing and its future prospects. Visiting local farmer markets and speaking with producers who sell there will give you a good idea of the level of demand in your area, and you may be able to identify market gaps that you could fill. If you are planning to sell a large proportion of your produce through local retailers and catering outlets, consider carrying out a survey to those businesses to find out what sector of the market you should aim for. Talk to prospective customers to establish the type of produce that is popular. For example, you may find that some cuts of meats are more commonly purchased and that added value items, such as joints ready for cooking prepared with herbs or marinade, sell very well. An example of this is pulled pork, which has captured the public's imagination. You may also find that free range and organic produce is very popular, as well as anything that is particular to your region, such as the breed of animals or the way the meat is cured. Now let's talk about the various types of pig farms that can be constructed. Indoor production and outdoor production are the two main types of pig farming. Indoor production is still the most popular, accounting for 60% of all herds, with outdoor production accounting for the remaining 40%, though outdoor production has grown in popularity in recent years. Indoor herding can be either intensive or semi-intensive. Large white and landrace crosses, as well as hybrids of these, are the most common breeds of pigs in indoor herds. Indoor pig herds are kept in a consistent warm environment. There are two kinds of herds, breeding herds and feeding herds. Sows and their piglets and boars make up the breeding herd. When the sows are about 6 or 8 months old, they are mated with the boar or artificially impregnated. Sows typically feed their youngs for 3 to 4 weeks after giving birth, until the piglets are weaned. The piglets are separated and placed in a separate pen until they reach a weight of about 30 kilograms. Pigs being fattened for slaughter weight are referred to as feeding herds. Many pig farms have a breeding herd as well as a feeding herd. Piglets that have reached around 30 kilograms are moved to a rearing pen on a farm with both types of herds until they reach their slaughter weight of around 90 kilograms. If the farm only has a feeding herd, weaners are purchased from a specialized weaner producer. A weaner producer follows the breeding herd procedure and then sells the 30-kilogram pigs rather than raising them to market weight. Outdoor herds are still in a minority, but their numbers have increased dramatically in recent years. Because outdoor pig farming is less intensive, it requires less capital investments and therefore appealing to newcomers. Outdoor pigs are typically part Duroc, a breed that is hardly enough to withstand changes in weather and temperature. Sows in outdoor herds are typically housed in corrugated huts known as arch with field access. The vast majority of piglets born in outdoor herds are fattened in indoor rearing pens. When making your financial projections for your pig unit, it is critical to use realistic estimates for the physical performance of the herd, including allowing for the death of a certain percentage of your animals. You can anticipate the following performance For indoor herds, sow mortality is 6%, litters per sow per year is 2.3, mortality of pigs born alive is 11%, and pigs reared per sow per year is 27. For outdoor herds, sow mortality is 4%, litters per sow per year is 2.2, mortality of pigs born alive is 13%, and pigs reared per sow per year is 23. These figures are based on national averages and are intended to be illustrative only. Your outcomes may vary significantly. Ongoing AHDB pork research includes data on average top third and top 10% performance for breeding, feeding, and rearing herds. When estimating your sales revenue, keep the following factors in mind. The price you will receive, keeping in mind that pigs prices can vary greatly from year to year. The quantity you intend to sell, which is the number of pigs per year, or the volume of pork cuts and other pork products if you intend to process your animals to add value, and any other source of income besides your pig unit. You should also consider your own personal experience, unexpected levels of mortality amongst your animals, and lower than anticipated numbers of pigs raised. Rather than starting from scratch, you might decide to buy an existing pig farm. Purchasing an existing farm may imply that the stock, customers, regular sales, staff, premises, and machineries are all already in place. When you are looking to buy an existing pig farm, try to figure out why the business is for sale. For example, you want to find out if the owner is looking to retire or if there's another personal reason for selling. In recent years, many small pig farmers have left the industry because it has become increasingly difficult to break even. Your market research into the sector as a whole will assist you in determining whether or not the owner is selling because the business no longer generates enough income for him or her. This may not discourage you if you are confident that your proposed method for pig farming, regardless of the vendor's previous financial results. However, unless you have the right skills and experience on your team, including legal and financial know-how, purchasing a business can be a risky and costly process. Establish a legitimate trading and financial position so that the price you pay for the business is not excessive. Now let's go over the best practice for establishing pig farm structures and systems. When running a pig farm, you want to keep disease spread to a minimum as much as possible. To reduce the spread of diseases from the outside into the piggery unit, effective disease control measures should be implemented. As a result, setting up baths for employees as they enter the pig unit is a good idea. You can even go as far as to impose strict controls on cell phones. Giving your farm workers specific clothing to wear in the pig unit to ensure that home clothes are not exposed to the pigs in the event of a disease outbreak is also an effective disease control measure. You want to make sure that your pigs are properly fed. Proper nutrition is a critical success factor in any farming business. A well-balanced pig feed must be fed at all times, and trace mineral elements such as magnesium, sodium, copper, calcium, iron, zinc, and selenium should be present in your pig feed. Pig feed should always be fermented in the same way that chicken feed is. The concept is similar, and fermented pig feed is far healthier than dry feed. You'll need to have some sort of cooling system. Pigs do not have sweat glands, so they rely heavily on the farmer's assistance, especially during the summer months. To regulate the pig's body temperature, use water sprinklers and fans. If fans cannot be provided or funds are limited, set up pig pens or pig houses with plenty of ventilation. Extremely high temperatures can cause stress and eventually death in pigs. You will also need pig manure disposal system. It is recommended that pig farms have a pig manure disposal system in place because frequent contact with manure can spread disease-causing microorganisms. It is also critical not to mix different age groups. Bullying amongst sows, boars, and piglets will be reduced as a result. When it comes to feeding, one may face a serious challenge in the form of bullying. When pigs and piglets of the same age groups are housed together, you will also achieve good growth rates and reduce fatal fights. In the pig farming industry around the world, there are over 50 different types of pig breeds. These various meat pig breeds each have their own set of advantages and disadvantages. Yorkshire pigs, Duroc pigs, Berkshire pigs, landrace pigs, and Tamworth pigs are some of the most common pig breeds. It is preferable to use local breeds when starting your pig farm because they have already adapted to your climate and are easily available within your country or town. It is preferable to begin with piglets for breeding purposes. You want to grow them and eventually sell them so that you can gain experience and be able to develop management protocols during the process. Because breeding is far more complicated than rearing pigs, your management skills should be solid. The most important aspect of commercial pig production is feeding the pigs high quality, nutritious food. Good pig feeds keeps the pigs healthy while also allowing them to grow and gain weight more quickly. You can feed almost anything to your pigs, but some feeds are more nutritious than others. You can either feed them commercially prepared feed or make your own pig feed. Whatever method you use, it is best to ferment your pig feeds for 3 days before feeding it to the pigs. When compared to non-fermented feed, fermented feed is more nutritious, healthier, and increases in mass. Making your own pig feed is the most cost-effective method of feeding your pigs. For preparing the feeds, you can choose the most cost-effective ingredients. Pig feed is primarily composed of oats, grains, maize, wheat, rice, sorghum, and pearl millet. Protein supplements such as sunflower seeds or soybean cake, fish meal, and meat meal can be added. Include all types of minerals and vitamin supplements. Add antibiotic supplements at a rate of 11 mg per kilogram of body weight. It would be ideal if you could let your pigs roam around the pasture and eat fresh green legume. On a farm, the best way to feed the pigs is to keep them separate and feed them separately. You want to separate the different age groups of pigs and feed them according to their age and weight. Along with nutritious food, always provide them with plenty of clean, fresh water. It is critical to provide adequate water for the pigs' growth.